between like 1910 and 1925, the vast majority of singers were women. So, now it's kind of like it's a lot of male dominated,
Right.
but definitely women were the ones who were the trailblazers with that. So it might go against the common idea of just what the blues are and what they should sound like, but new research has found that some of the biggest players in the form of music were actually women.
I should have known that.
Yep.
Because who can sing the blues better?
And who knows the blues better?
I know. Who can tell a story better?
Yes. I mean, we're frying up the bacon and bringing it home and all that other stuff. We are doing all these things and still keeping a smile on our faces. So many hats we wear.
I know.
And it is definitely a story that we tell.
And then gets taken over by men. It's okay. In 1903, Mary Anderson was granted a patent for the windshield wiper. It would become standard equipment on cars by 1916. She isn't alone in her innovativeness, though. Women have also invented such things as industrial lace, white out. I love white out.
Do you?
Yes, I don't know why. Of course.
Oh my goodness! So you love white out? Like,
yes, I don't know.
So that means that it doesn't matter. You can always change your mind, right? And we have that right to change our mind whenever we so desire. So white out contributes to that. So thank you, white out.
Guess what? The dishwasher.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Him.
There. Yes.
Yes. Disposable diapers.
Oh my.
Non-reflective glass, and of course bras.
Well, I'm appreciative of all of those things. Without a doubt, where would we be without them? Martha Wright Griffith, an American lawyer and judge, pushed through the Sex Discrimination Act in 1964 as part of the Civil Rights Act.
Good.
This act helped protect countless women on jobs and in everyday life from discrimination based upon their gender. And this, we had that movement, and we still have movements similar to that. We have not completely won that battle, but we are definitely going in the right direction, and every day we are making great strides for that equality.
Oh, I love that. And guess what else we did? When you think of factory work, you always think it's done by men. In fact, during the 16th century, though, factory workers were primarily young, single women. Men and married women stayed home to work the farm or manage the house, but single women were in factories putting in work.
What?
Yes.
Wow. What about, for some reason, the wonderful and amazing African-American performer, Josephine Baker, comes to mind, and I absolutely love her life story. My goodness, what a whirlwind of a ride she had on this side. She was working in France during World War II, but not only as a singer, dancer, and actress, she was also helping the war movement, smuggling numerous messages to French soldiers. She often had messages made in her dress or concealed with invisible ink or on her sheet music. Baker's work in the war is only part of what makes her such an amazing figure, as she was the first African-American female to star in a major motion picture performance in a concert hall and played a big role in the civil rights movement.
See, and I love her story too.
Yes, it's amazing.
She left here and went overseas, correct, for a very long time. And just she was so important in just Black history and women's history. So I'm so glad that she is one of our fun facts, because sometimes that is totally overlooked, that how much we have contributed to just the celebration and the forward movement of women. I also wanted to put out here that in 1986, 14 states in the U.S. had declared March as Women's History Month. Mm-hmm. The action was used as the rationale for Congress to declare the entire month of March 1987, because at first it was just a day, and then it was a week, and then it became a whole month. So it is necessary for us to recognize the amazing women over and over again. We have so many. So
that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
So how about daredevils? Like those women who want to go and do something so incredibly insane that you have to acknowledge them.
Oh.
I'm thinking of the first person to make that daring attempt to go over Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel was a woman.
Okay.
Yep. On October 24, 1901, Annie Edson Taylor, a 43-year-old school teacher from Michigan, plunged over the falls. She survived with only a small gash on her head, but swore to never take them on again. But what about the gumption to give it a shot? So every time you try to do something that you think might not work, it doesn't matter. It's the point of it is taking that chance, trying it, because you never know what might happen unless you try it.
That is so true. So, I can't go through and not mention some amazing women like Sojourner Truth.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Oh, my gosh. Sojourner was an African-American abolitionist and women's rights activist best known for her speech on racial inequalities called Ain't I a Woman? And
yes.
I'll read some of that.
Love that.
I
yes.
know.
Read some of it. That is like one of my favorite, speeches. It is beautiful.
So I'm going to read that at the end.
Oh, you're going to read it at the end?
Yeah, to take us out.
Okay. All right,
because
right.
I feel like it was so powerful to say. And then, of course, Miss Burke, Tarana Burke, that started the Me Too movement. Just so many amazing women that has contributed. Of course, Oprah and Hillary and even Greta Thunberg, which is the young lady that is out here advocating for change in our climate, to bring attention to the fact that we need to save our planet. We talk about gumption and taking that need to change.
Absolutely.
And it's necessary.
There's a lady named Mary Anderson who was granted a patent for the windshield wiper. I think that's pretty cool because you do not know the stress and the struggle of someone who has a windshield wiper that is not working, okay? So it would become standard equipment on cars by 1960. She isn't alone in her inventiveness. Women also have invented such things as industrial lace, whiteout bras. Oh, you talked about that. Yeah. So all those things you talked about.
Because, if we see a need, we feel it.
Yep, exactly.
Okay? If we need something done, they always say, ask a woman if you need something done, even though we're busy.
Right.
I can't also go through this Women's History Month without bringing up Rosa Parks. The civil rights activist famous for refusing to obey bus driver James Blake's order to give up her seat in the colored section to a white passenger, which was mandatory after the white-only section was full. Her defiance became a symbol of the modern civil rights movement. She also collaborated with civil rights leaders, including Edgar Nixon, the president of the local NAACP chapter, and, of course, Martin Luther King. So I thought that, just fierce women how can you not give it up for her? Margaret Hanfield was the director of software engineering for NASA.
Oh, wow.
The NASA's Apollo space program. She wrote the mathematical sequence that enabled the Apollo mission to be successful. So we're everywhere.
Everywhere. That is phenomenal. Like, we have done so much over the years.
Yes.
And I can't even imagine what the next decade or the decade after that is going to look like, women, because we're getting stronger and more fierce every day, on every turn, in every arena. And it's just phenomenal to see that and to witness such an amazing thing as women doing the greatest things in the world.
Yes, and doing it in spite of the fact that people think that we cannot.
Right.
And that's important, too, because there are going to be little girls out there listening to us and wanting to know, I want to do something. How can I do it? Or do I even have, the wherewithal to do so? And I say do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do that thing. I know it's so cliche, but I really believe that is possible.
Absolutely. I agree with you. So, Ray, tell us, is there a woman that you know of or that you think of in your life that is an inspiration to you?
Oh, there are several women. You are, Miss Gwen.
Well, now.
Fabulous.
Right. Yes.
Very outspoken, very business-minded, very family-oriented. All those things. My mom, of course. Oh, I love her. My mom is just a overflow of love that spilled out onto me and my brother and now the rest of our family. My grandmother, she contributed to my fashion sense, just women that have always just been there. My mom is number 13 of 14 children, and she is number 4 of 6. No, 5 of 6 girls. So she, I don't know, the whole family's just always been, you can do it, no matter whether you're male or female. So I love that.
Well, that's beautiful. I feel the same way. I have so many women that have been instrumental in teaching me the beauty of being a woman, how to love myself and to respect myself and to just go for it, to reach for my dreams and to embrace every moment. And I'm just so thankful that I'm surrounded by a group of amazing women within my family. And, of course, my circle, like you, Miss Ray.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I know this 30 minutes goes by so quick, but would you believe that we are out of time?
No.
Yes, we are out of time.
Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed us giving you just the bare minimum of the amazing women that have came through, walked this earth, and been contributed to so many great things that we have. So I said that I would take us out on the speech. I'm just going to read maybe 2 or 3 sentences.
Okay.
But I wanted to say this. I want to say a few words about this matter. I am a woman's rights. I have as much muscle as any man and can do as much work as any man. I have plowed and reaped and husked and chopped and mowed, and can any man do more than that? I have heard much about the sexes being equal. I can carry as much as any man, and I can eat as much as one too, if I can get it. I am as strong as any man that is now. As for intelligent, all I can say is, if a woman have a paint and a man have a quart, why can't she have her little paint full? You need not be afraid to give us our rights for fear we will take too much, for we can't take more than our paint a hole. The poor men seem to be all in confusion and don't know what to do. Why, children, if you have women's rights, give it to her and you will feel better. You will have your own rights and they won't be so much trouble. I can't read, but I can hear. I've heard the Bible and I've learned that Eve caused man to sin. Well, if woman upset the world, do give her a chance to set it right side up again. The lady has spoken about Jesus, how he never spawned woman from him, and she was right. When Lazarus died, Mary and Martha came to him with faith and love and besought him to raise their brother. And Jesus wept, and Lazarus came forth. And how came Jesus into the world? Through God, who created him, and the woman who bore him. Man, where was your part? But the women are coming up blessed to be God, and a few of the men are coming up with them. But man is in a tight space. The poor slave is on him. Woman is coming on him, and he's surely between a hawk and a buzzard. That is the excerpt from Ain't I a Woman?
Ain't I a Woman? Well, my goodness. Now, that is something remarkable.
Yes.
Completely remarkable. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode of Glow Get It. Please come back and join us again next Sunday, same time, same place, at 12 noon at www.kyheartmedia.com. If there's something you want us to talk about, reach out to us at glowgetit.life@gmail.com. And, of course, we want you to make up your mind. Are you going to be good or unforgettable?
I am your host, Rashonda J.
And I'm your host, Gwendolyn B.